It has its own part too. Oh yes, everywhere you are.
But oh, you take your leg, you will go down on it. You just bash your leg.
Now, when the escalator is taking us to the real departure hall. Sorry. We have passenger bridge. And the passenger bridge can go as high as the level of 7 meters. That means it can cover an A38 aircraft if it comes here. Our passenger bridge, yes. An A380 Airbus, if it comes here, our passenger bridge can service it. It can go as high as it. Yes, and it can. You won't have, if you come by air, you'll go through all the places we've just transferred us right now. Go through.
We use this opportunity to congratulate His Excellency on his 20th wedding anniversary. Thank you.
So far it's 27.7 billion and it's still the cheapest airport in Nigeria today.
Any other question, please? Your Excellency, I'm just curious to know whether the state government plan to procure aircraft to boost the economy of the state. Whether the state government actually plans to procure any aircraft to boost the movement of flight and what have you, and the economy of the state.
No, not state government. The private sector. Working with Ministry of Aviation.
Gloria Ogbake, report for Repower FM. I just want to know when the airport will be fully operational.
Well, the licensing and operation of the airport is federally regulated. So when they come, they tell us what to do, what is left. So the full use of the airport can only be authorized by the Federal Ministry of Aviation.
All right, Your Excellency, I must say that this is good, but I'm bothered about maintenance. And I remember leaving the country recently, and in Madrid, I saw women walking very early in the morning. I'm just wondering if this place, as we've seen it today, it will remain like this. I know it can remain.
It can remain like this. I'm actually in discussion with, let me emphasize again that the issue of the airport is a federal government issue. And we're working with the Federal Ministry of a particular airport because if it is run by private investors, the maintenance will be better. If left in the hands of the federal of government, government workers are not, whether state or federal, they don't have that spirit of maintenance. So we are thinking of concessioning to private investors.
Is there any other question? Come forward, please.
Ask a question.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. My name is Henry Ogunjimi from Channels Television. My question actually goes to Professor Moye, who has joined us on this tour. And the governor spoke about it earlier, but I want his opinion and that of my able president, Alhaji Garba. Some people have said that they are not going to be part of this good governance monitoring tour. And things like this is my first time in Asaba. As a journalist, I've seen something new, and we've seen what people are doing. What is your take on this, on the stand? Especially, if I would mention names, the Edo State governor said was not going to use this fund for hosting the good governance team. What's your take on this, sir, and the president?
Thank you very much. So I can face the music. Yeah, thank you very much. I think it's a very good question. I spoke with the governor of Edo State on Saturday, actually in Ekiti, and he made those observations to me. I was surprised that he went to talk about it in the media. But the decision to have this tour was actually initiated by National Planning Commission, Ministry of Information, and my office. We had a series of discussions, perfected it, took it to Federal Executive Council, just as the minister said, and Federal Executive Council approved. But because the president is very conscious of doing national projects, he directed that the issue be presented to the governors, because it will be unwise to go to states to say you are looking at, even if you are looking at federal government projects alone, you still need to tell the governor that you are coming and you need to solicit their support and cooperation. You see, when you talk about funding, you think about Esther Code, you think about per diem on the little money, but it is a lot more than per diem. The security that you need to go around the state, I'm sure you've seen for yourselves, the security. It's not something that I'm sure the Honorable Minister has budget for. So you expect a state government to support the initiative with such support. And I expect that all the states will support. All the states have committed to supporting. And in fact, the governor of Edo State even told me that he's happy to host the governance tour, and he will accommodate the minister and some people. So it's really not, I think he's been quoted out of context. But certainly he is willing to accept. What he said to me that he's quarreling with is the fact that he doesn't want to be seen to be assessed by federal government. But this is not an assessment tour. This is a tour that is designed to showcase what is happening. I've been listening to everybody speak in the last 1 hour or two, and people are saying, is this happening in Delta? We didn't know this is happening in Delta. So if this tour hadn't happened, you would have been reading all the negatives in the media. But today, you are seeing for yourselves. And I'm sure by the time you finish, this is only one city, by the way, this is only Asaba. As the guy from Opana will say, all the projects are in Asaba. No, it's not all the projects. These are just some of the few projects, a few of the projects in Delta State. So by the time you go to Abo, Warri, by the time you go around the Delta State, you would have been very happy. So I think it's a good project, and all the states should support it.
Well, for me, I remember when we agreed to participate on this good governance tour, we were invited by the minister. We discussed the concept and the modalities. The concept, of course, we agreed that it is part of our responsibility ordinarily, without even the good governance tour for the media, to go around and look at the progress in this democracy. Actually, it's part of our constitutional responsibility. So I think we don't have problem with the concept. In terms of modalities, we'll also discuss part of the issue which I think we agreed was that we have to uphold the principles of freedom of expression and the freedom of the press, which I think we have been agitating for quite a while. And I want to believe that throughout the states we have visited so far, that freedom has been guaranteed, because were at liberty to report exactly and objectively what we saw. And if really you go through most of our presentations at the various states which we have visited, you realize that there are different opinions and there is involvement of quite a number of people, including the civil society. So I'm really, really very surprised to have this coming from one of our respected governors in this country. And I also want to believe that he must be misquoted, or maybe there is a problem. But in terms of logistics as well, I know we discussed this issue very seriously. And the purpose, actually, as I said from the beginning, is to ensure that we were able to monitor this democracy. And I think so far so good. I have not heard, to the best of my knowledge, where the minister has called us to say that this is what we should report, or in any situation where he has influenced our analysis in the case of our presentation. So I want to believe that we are doing our job, and quite a number of civil society organizations and media, they believe in this good governance tour, and they are participating more and more. That is my comment on this.
Well, maybe, I don't know why this question still came back, but I've avoided any disagreement with all the stakeholders on the tour. I know that the governors are strongly behind this. When we went to Rivers, the chairman of Nigerian Governors Forum, Rotimi Amici, and governor of Rivers, made it clear that this tour has been very, very helpful, because now, because of the tour, he's aware that all his colleagues and everybody looks forward to it as a way of showcasing what they have done. And he spoke very well about the forum. I've been to a CPC control state, and the governor was so elated because he said before we arrived, it was like nothing they were doing was making sufficient news. Like I said, we have written commendations by other governors, not ruling party governors at the federal level, who have seen how clearly this could be. It's a principle of cooperative federalism. You know, all of us can still do things together. And let me also say this, that I tried to read what my senior comrade, Governor Adams Oshomole, has said. He didn't say he was not welcoming us. He has some observations which he made openly. And we are running a democracy, and I'm thanking Adams for speaking out his own feelings about the tour. And as we go around, what we have done is to start a process. The future of this tour we don't know, but we believe it's important that this democracy must open itself up, you know, for the public and for the media and for Nigerians to participate. So this is not, you know very well, anybody who knows Adams, we know he's one of those who has led the process of democratic change, and we hold him in very high esteem, both as my senior comrade and as a friend. He knows that those of us who are doing this thing are not doing it completely out of patriotism for this country. That systems must cooperate and open up. We did the Freedom of Information law in place. The president signed it to open up space. And I think between federal and state governments, we have the same citizens. The federal government doesn't have a separate group of people they look after. No state governments, no local governments. We're all striving to serve the people of Nigeria. As for logistics, we discussed this very clearly when we met at the Governors Forum. The governor said they will take responsibilities for certain things and we should do for some others. But even this has been flexible. You know, if we go to a state and the state has a constraint and cannot, for example, say we will offer drinks for the people coming, I believe that we will find ways of handling those things. This whole thing is not about, I cannot go through this exertion that I'm going through now for anything other than to ensure that our democracy works better. So let Comrade Shemole not be reported out of context. He said he will welcome us. And we will go to Edo State from here, by the grace of God. And I know that both Edo State, federal government, everybody are doing a great job in Edo State. So I think we should not take this out of context. Again, this is not a federal government project. I've made it very clear. All these people here, how many of you are federal government? These are civil society organizations, private media people, channels. We don't own channel, we don't own AIT, we don't own all the media organizations that are moving through this thing. It is helpful for all of us, and every state who have gone so far, what the media are telling us is, we didn't know these things are happening here. We didn't know these things are happening here. We came to this airport now. I don't know how many journalists have been here, you know, for example, to see the transformation that has taken place in this place. We went to the government house. I don't know how many people have come here in recent time to see the progress, not the model schools that we're seeing in Delta State. So let us all work together. And I think that principle of working together has been very, very helpful. And so I know the media will always like to play something out of every comment. This good governance tour must be criticized. Because the good governance tour is not an oracle. I do not believe I know it all. So neither does Professor Moye or all those who have worked on the good governance tour. We must subject ourselves to criticism. And I think when people criticize us, I'm sure they're doing it out of very good intention. I'm a Democrat, I'm a journalist. So let them criticize the good governance tour. It will help us adjust as we move on. And I think the criticism of Adam should be seen in that light. How do we improve it to make it more receptive? And I'm sure that we'll take his comments in good faith and we'll work to address those. Oh, well, because you have asked the wrong question.
Sorry, how much are vitamins? 200. Bullet fat. Yeah, expensive. I just have.
No air conditioners, nothing was functioning here, and there's no beauty. Now, when you come to an airport like this, an investor coming to Nigeria, if he lands at Asaba, the first thing he or she will think about is that, oh, this country is a serious country, because we're seeing a new environment. That is number one. Number two, people used to say that if you are investing in an airport, you are wasting money. Yes, there are locations where you can waste money if you set up an airport. But there are also locations that are highly profitable to build new airports. And Asaba is one of those locations. I want to thank the governor, because if you want to concession this airport, people will want to have it. Onitsha alone, you will not have sufficient space to handle passengers. People going to Dubai, going to China, going to Brazil, Europe. They will now be taken off from here and traveling and coming back, rather than landing in Lagos, landing in Abuja, and carrying their goods here. So the airport is good for commerce, and this airport is going to be highly viable because it has a market base, you know, to support it. Delta is an oil and gas destination itself. There are so many international companies that are operating in Delta State. They can use this airport also as a channel to travel out, in and out of the country. And we have a seaport now that is already commissioned at Onitsha, which is built by the federal government. We have taken you there. You saw the Onitsha river port. Now you have a port in Onitsha. You have an international airport at Asaba. So this entire place, this entire zone, is going to be transformed as a result of these two strategic transportation facilities that are being provided by Delta State government and the federal government. We're also not talking about linking this place with a rail line. The federal government is designing a new standard gauge rail line that will be coming from Lagos through Benin up to Asaba. Now, that means that by land, sea, and rail, this place is going to be a center for the future transformation of an economy that is growing at between 6 and 7% over the last 5-6 years. But the most important thing about this airport is it's been built by a Nigerian. I think you should come forward. And that is the point. Uche, right? Uche who? Ono. Now, when we went to the government house and we saw the beauty of that legacy structure, we said, who built it? The governor said, we were thinking whether maybe it's GTour, Julius Baja, and all those other foreign companies. And he said, no. This port has been designed and built by an indigenous of this state. And when we came to the airport, he also said that it's built by the same contractor. Now, Your Excellency, we want to thank you, because many Nigerians don't believe in ourselves. We always think that only foreigners can do good things. Yes, we are not an island. We still need a lot of knowledge from abroad. But we also have sufficient people with knowledge that can build structures like this. We thank the governor for this self-confidence in your people, because this means that the capital will not fly. It will remain in Nigeria. This man must invest part of the money he's making here in Delta State. And that is the principle. Creating jobs, creating capacities. We want to thank the governor overall for the vision for this airport. We have seen what you are doing we saw the 100 and 200 boats that you have acquired. We are now seeing the airport, and it shows that there is an interconnected vision, for the people of this state. We thank Your Excellency for this vision.
Your Excellency, we are now going live, NTA. So I send